Welcome to Sleep Surge. This is part 2, Build a Rock Solid Sleep Schedule. Session 7, How to Wake Up in the Morning, Full of Energy. So many people have problems waking up in the morning. Personally, oversleeping was a massive problem for me for years. From the age of around 6 all the way up to my mid-20s, getting out of bed was incredibly hard. In the morning when my alarm clock went off, I either constantly pressed the snooze button, often without even noticing it, or I just slept through the alarm so eventually it turned itself off. I tried everything. I placed multiple alarm clocks around my room, I went to bed extra early, which you now know not to do, and I used an extra loud alarm clock. Nothing worked. Fast forward to today, I'm one of those people who just naturally wakes up in the morning. I still use an alarm clock, but it's more of a safety net than something I rely upon to wake up. The good news is that you can do it too. Not only will you learn how to get up in the morning, you'll learn how to get up in the morning full of energy. We're going to look at exactly why you feel sleepy in the morning by looking at 3 different areas: sleep homeostasis, circadian rhythm, and sleep inertia. I'll help you optimize your habits in these 3 areas, removing the causes of sleepiness in the morning, replacing that sleepiness with vitality and alertness. Area 1. Sleep homeostasis. As you know, sleep homeostasis is your sleep drive. It's what makes you feel sleepy. The more you have, the sleepier you'll feel. Let's look back at that ideal sleep homeostasis graph that you saw in session 4. Ideally, sleep homeostasis is at its lowest point just before you wake up. The best case is that all the homeostatic pressure that you built up during the day is released completely while you sleep. If you have insomnia or problems falling asleep, not all the homeostatic pressure would be released. So when you wake up, you've still got some pressure left, which is making you feel sleepy. Good sleep at night and waking up in the morning feeling alert goes hand in hand. As you progress through this course and as your sleep gets better, the easier it will be to wake up because you'll have less homeostatic pressure in the morning. Ensure that you give yourself the opportunity to get your recommended hours of sleep. Most people do best with 8 hours, but some people prefer 9 or more. So if you're sleeping well but find it hard to wake up in the morning, try waking up 30 minutes later for a few days and see how you feel. Area 2. Circadian rhythm. When it comes to waking up in the morning, your circadian rhythm, also known as your alerting force, is your best friend to get you out of bed. Even if you have enough sleep and release all your homeostatic pressure, without a strong circadian rhythm, getting up will still be difficult. Just like we did with sleep homeostasis, let's look back at the ideal circadian rhythm graph from session 3. During the early hours of the morning, your circadian rhythm drops to its lowest to help you access those all-important deep stages of sleep. But then it starts to rise, and by the time you need to wake up, it's strong enough so that it can wake you up feeling alert. The problem is that if you don't have a good sleep schedule, that rise will be much smaller, or even non-existent. So there are ultimately 2 ways you can strengthen your circadian rhythm: getting the dip started early and turbocharging the rise. We'll look at both of these in turn. Number 1, getting the dip started early. The earlier your circadian rhythm starts in the evening, the sooner it'll rise in the morning. The longer time it has to rise, the stronger it'll be by the time you need to wake up. A great way to achieve this is to shift your sleep schedule so you fall asleep earlier and quicker at night, so you wake up in the morning feeling much more alert. Tomorrow, we'll cover the techniques for falling asleep sooner. Number 2, turbocharging the rise. Remember that your circadian rhythm is aligned to the sun's day-night cycle. When there's light, your circadian rhythm thinks it's day and will get stronger to keep you awake. When there's darkness, your circadian rhythm thinks it's night, and so it becomes weaker to help you sleep. We're designed to wake up when the sun comes up. Considering that most of us wake up in a dark room with the curtains closed, it's no wonder why so many of us can't wake up in the morning. So as soon as you wake up, as soon as you've turned off the alarm clock, Open up your curtains and let in as much daylight as possible. The brighter the lights, the more your circadian rhythm will help you wake up. If it's still dark when you need to wake up, then ensure you turn on the light as soon as you get up. It's much dimmer than the sun, so it won't be as effective, but it'll still help. Even better is to get a dawn simulator that mimics the rising sun. You can set them to turn on 30 minutes before you need to wake up, so even before you're awake, your circadian rhythm is already getting a boost from the lights. Area 3. Sleep inertia. There's one final thing you need to be aware of in your quest to wake up early: sleep inertia. Basically, how easy it is to fall back to sleep. The problem is, when you're tucked up in a warm bed, it's so easy just to want to stay there. But the longer you stay in bed, the higher the chance you have of falling back to sleep, particularly if you're in a dark room with your eyes closed. The way to beat sleep inertia is by getting out of bed as soon as your alarm clock goes off. But of course, this is much easier said than done when your body is so comfortable. The key is not to force yourself out of bed, but to actually want to get out of bed. There are two ways you can do this. The first is motivation. Give yourself a really good reason to wake up. Write a task list for the next day before you go to bed so you have a good reason to get up in the morning. Have an enjoyable morning routine as well. Eat a breakfast that you like and have a nice, relaxing, stress-free start to your day. The second is association. As soon as your alarm clock goes off, get out of bed straight away, even if you really don't feel like it. The more you wake up as soon as your alarm clock goes off, the more your mind will associate your alarm as a trigger for waking up. So when your alarm goes off, you'll find yourself automatically feeling awake and alert. The more you do this, the stronger the habit will become. So in conclusion, now you know why you feel sleepy in the morning, and you have a framework for waking up in the morning feeling wide awake. Approach it in order. 1. Sleep homeostasis. Ensure you're getting enough sleep. 2. Circadian rhythm. Be aware of your exposure to light. And 3. Sleep inertia. Don't give yourself the opportunity to fall back to sleep. Waking up in the morning feeling alert is a habit that can take longer to produce than you would like, but once you've got it, sustaining the habit will be easy. And it's a fantastic habit to have. Even if you're a hardcore night owl, you can still learn to love the mornings. I've always been a bit of a night owl myself, but the mornings are now the time that I feel most alert. It's not that I feel less awake at night, I just feel much more awake in the morning. You can still have the best of both worlds. Tomorrow, I'll help you fall asleep faster. Action steps. If you've ignored the same alarm clock sound each morning, then change it to something else. This will allow you to create a brand new association between the sound of your alarm and waking up feeling fresh and alert. Try and get exposure to bright light as soon as possible. Natural daylight is best, but artificial electric light is better than darkness. A step further. Start planning out your mornings. Make them busy and interesting. Doing so will gradually help you associate the morning with alertness.